Hi everyone, my name is Jen. I'm a doctor of physical therapy in Denver, Colorado. And I'm here, wanted to welcome you to my new channel, talking about all things ACL, talking about my experience going through it, talking about the rehab process. There are a lot of questions that go into this whole process, and it's something that I've become really passionate about, and I'm excited to help you if you're here and answer any questions that you have, kind of by sharing my own experience. So just wanted to share a little bit about kind of my whole, what's gotten me here. Like I said, I'm a physical therapist, but I've also had 3 ACL reconstructions over the course of 15 years. Yeah. I grew up playing soccer. I played in college. My first ACL tear was in 2009. It was a non-contact injury. I was at practice, I was running around, and there was nobody around me. I just went to cut and go a different direction, and my knee gave out. And later learned that that's something, unfortunately, pretty common in female athletes with the non-contact injury. I was really shocked to hear that I had an ACL tear. It was something that I had seen other teammates and people in my club go through, and not something that I ever thought would ever happen to me. So that was my senior year of high school. So I didn't play my senior year of high school. I kind of focused it on rehabbing. I ended up having a cadaver graft that time, something that they don't do on young people anymore because of the risk of re-tear, which we'll get to later. But I had a really great rehab experience. I got back and I was back playing in August of the following year. So I had surgery in December of 2009 and then went and started my freshman season in college in August. And overall felt great. I was probably stronger after that than I was before, because the rehab process really focused on, building up the strength, working on my mechanics, and getting me to a place where I was stronger, came out of that better than I did going in even before my injury. So from there, it planted the seed of me wanting to be a PT, because I really thought that the process was really interesting and really rewarding, and seeing kind of the changes that I was making as I was going through PT. And then I played 3 years of college soccer, and then I had the same injury happen on the other side. This time it wasn't non-contact. I felt like I was pretty strong going into it, but I was just going for a 50-50 ball and had planted my left foot and then got hit on the outside of my leg, felt the pop, the whole thing, and, I kind of knew instantly what had happened, just having been through it before. And having had the experience, and this time it felt totally different. It was way more painful. I had torn my ACL and my MCL. My meniscus was fine in both those first 2 surgeries. Had a ton of swelling, really had a hard time walking, had to do some prehab to get my range of motion back. And it was just like a lot more traumatic experience. And so I had a patellar tendon bone graft for that one. It was definitely a lot more painful. I think an autograft, so taking your own tissue, in general is a harder recovery, and especially with patellar tendon. So it was just a lot more painful, and I didn't really feel like I had the most personalized and attentive rehab the second time around. I wasn't really planning on going back to playing soccer at the level that I was. This was during the spring season of my junior year, so I was out for my senior season. It just didn't really, now it feels fine, and I ended up doing more rehab on my own and getting my strength back, and it really did take some more time for my patellar tendon graft site pain to go away. That was definitely prominent for a couple of years afterwards. But from there, got back to doing pretty much anything that I wanted to do, except playing soccer. I decided to not go back and play. I had kind of mentally gotten to the point of accepting that it was over, and kind of shifted my focus onto other things. After that, I went into PT school, decided I wanted to become a physical therapist, just kind of from my experiences of seeing how valuable PT can be. And yeah, so went on to PT school, continued to run, got into cycling, doing triathlons, really still being very active. And then I moved to Colorado in 2020 and started my own physical therapy practice that I have now and where I am now, and got back into skiing. And that was something that, I'd grown up doing a little bit, but didn't do much kind of throughout high school and college because I didn't want to get hurt and ended up getting hurt anyway, but that's okay. Then in 2022, from my knees really weren't giving me issues. I did a half Ironman. I was cycling, a lot, and then started getting back into skiing, doing some resort and backcountry skiing, which was a whole nother world that I had no idea even existed until moving here, which was amazing. And my knees felt great. And then in 2022, second day of the season, I took a really bad fall up in one of the bowls at Copper, and kind of turned too sharply and twisted and felt 3 pops in my right knee. So that was the one that had the cadaver graft. And it was really weird because I had no pain other than, it giving out and feeling the pops. I had no pain. It really didn't swell up that much. I tried to ski down and then decided not to because it was feeling pretty unstable. But again, kind of knew what I was in for. And got an MRI. My ACL was torn. My meniscus was torn. And at this point, there's a lot more out there of people taking a non-surgical route that the ACL can, in some cases, spontaneously heal. People can compensate without having an ACL. And I kind of debated that option, but given that it was a cadaver graft, I wasn't sure if that even was a possibility. And even though I didn't really have much pain, I was having a decent amount of instability just walking around. If I was walking around my kitchen and I turned around, my knee would buckle. And having a meniscus tear, I didn't want that to keep getting worse. I was 30 at the time. I'm 32 now, and I wanted to continue to be active and get back and ski and do the things that I wanted to do. So I did end up having surgery on the right side. I didn't have to do a 2-step surgery or do anything with bone grafts or anything with that, with tunnels. If you have questions about that, you can comment. But I had a quad tendon graft, and that recovery I feel was probably, it's hard to say because the first one happened in 2009, so a long time ago when I was in high school. But I feel the quad tendon graft wasn't as bad as the patellar tendon one. But again, it's hard to remember. It's all been a long period of time. So, but it was definitely a different experience getting injured as an adult, of just how much more you have to coordinate, and especially running a business and the support that you need from the people around you. And also just, being a PT and being obviously experienced in this, having been through it twice and kind of knowing what I had to do. So I think overall my rehab experience went very smoothly. I think just because I was educated and had the experience before and kind of knew what I was in for. The graft site pain for the quad tendon, not quite as bad. It's definitely prevalent. It's a kind of different type of feeling because it's more on the top of your knee and not something that you feel. I don't know, patellar femoral pain is pretty common, I feel like. And with the patellar graft, it's something that is just a lot more exacerbated. So it's a different kind of feeling. It does hang around for a little bit, but for me, I don't know, probably a year and a half after surgery, it really wasn't bothering me much anymore. Now I'm about 2 years out from my last surgery, and I'm back skiing. I'm learning to telemark ski this year, which has been great. And I feel really good. And I think, I've just been seeing a lot of this in my own practice. Obviously I've been through it, and I think there's not a lot of information, or I think people have a lot of questions, and I think they're valid questions because it's a big deal. It's a big surgery and it's really intense, and there's a lot that goes into the whole process, and kind of from when you get injured to getting an MRI to going to see your ortho to deciding am I having surgery or not, what the PT process looks like. There's so many variables in that, and I think it's just something that I want to help and share my experience and help answer questions. And I hope that it helps, and I hope that it's valuable for you. So I'll be here posting questions that I hear and that I see people having. So if you have a question about something, comment or message me, and I'll do my best to answer it. Thanks for being here.